Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This is Radhika here again, and this video is going to be about can narcissists love, and if so, how? How do they love? Um, so my take on this question is that yes, narcissists can love, but they can love at their level of awareness. Like all of us love at our level of awareness, and which by which I mean they love at their level of energy. You know how the energies and emotions can flow through their bodies through the different chakras. That's the level at which they can express their love. Okay, so let's just kind of think how we learn how to express love. Okay, so we might the first answer to that is that we learn how to express love in the same way that we learn how to express all our other emotions, and which is basically from our primary caregivers. So we learn how to behave in this world mostly from the way our parents or our guardians or whoever we grew up with, the way they express their feelings is how we learn to express our feelings. And this is a very subtle and subconscious way or a thing, because when we are a kid, the circuits in our brain are actually getting formed at that time. And so we don't do this consciously. It's a very subconscious and unconscious process that happens. No one decides that this is the way I'm going to love. No one actually plans to be, unless they actually sit and work on themselves. No one actually consciously does this. It's a very how we breathe. Similarly, that's the way we show up in the world, we react in the world, we love other people in the world. So for people who have NPD or narcissistic tendencies when they have grown up, like say they are adults now, and they display narcissistic tendencies, usually it goes back to their childhood, and it goes back to all our childhoods. If you're a narcissist, if you're an empath, whatever you categorize yourself as, because we actually are all everywhere on the spectrum. And of course, who are malignant, the malignant people are way beyond. But for most of us, we keep moving around the spectrum. So one day you might be more of an empath, another day you might put your guard up, you might guard your heart, you might be more in the 3D reality realm, saving yourself, protecting yourself, focusing on yourself, not giving yourself to others. So that day you could also demonstrate narcissistic traits. So that's totally fine, because we keep moving along the spectrum here and there. So, for most of us, our childhood also affects us greatly. But for people who are malignant NPD, or who are like much higher on the spectrum, for such people, they had um, mostly they had two types of childhoods. Okay, so the first type is one of extreme trauma, neglect, or abuse, and the second type is one of extreme entitlement, where, so let me discuss the second one first. So the entitlement one is they were born in a family which already thinks they are better than others. Okay, so this is kind of like what used to happen in the, like say for India, the example is when India was under the British rule, and anyone who had a brown skin or who was Indian was considered like, under the Britishers or something like that. Or when there was like slavery in America, etc. So it's a hierarchy in the society which everyone has bought into. Okay, so the people who are on top of the hierarchy feel entitled in some way. And later on it could be being richer, being more academic, It could be, some people who think their religion is better than other people's religion. Some people who feel their lifestyle is better than other people's lifestyle, and all of these sorts. And sometimes it could also be a family where the men are given more privilege, and like in Indian society this was pretty prevalent, where sons were given higher weightage than girls, and different kinds of things like that basically. And also like beauty, right? If there are two women and one is more beautiful than the other, then the one who's more beautiful feels more entitled, etc. So it's all this like judging things. So if a child is born in such a family where this is a constant topic, always going on in their childhood, it's via osmosis this child will automatically develop these circuits in their brain. And there's pretty much nothing the child can do at this point, because unless the child grows up and does some inner work on themselves, realizing that this is the way they see the world and something is not right with the way they see the world. So it's really not in the child's control, unless they are extremely aware, they go to school and then they start seeing how their family is wrong or how the world is different. Sometimes though this can also reinforce the belief. If they go out in the world and the world also perceives things the way their family perceives, this actually strengthens the belief. So that can also happen. Now, the second case is where the adult NPD child grew up in an extremely abusive or neglectful or trauma based family. Okay, so, or alcoholic or where addictions were very common. So, in such a kind of a family. So, for this child, love is given in a very erratic way. It's love is very erratic. It's either either when the parent is happy you get the love, when the parent is not happy, or when your mom or dad is like in they are like they are not in their senses, they have had a lot of drinks or had a lot of drugs, then your needs are not being met, and so that causes a lot of trauma in the child. And the trauma collects as fear in the child's body, and when the child grows up they are in this constant state of fear, because they fear their survival, and because that's a circuit that has been formed in their brain, where they constantly find the world as a very hostile place to be in. They always feel like they have to work for their survival, they have to really fight for their survival, because as a child they might have actually experienced a state where they were constantly striving for their own survival. So this can also happen in war zones, or refugee children, or where there's a lot of chaos and violence in the world around the child. The child can develop this fear based mentality, which later on when the child grows up, it becomes like a domination energy, where the child is always trying to be like the alpha, or they are always trying to keep everything under control, because if something goes out of control they feel this extreme anxiety in their being. So that could be one reason. And then another thing is abusive or neglectful. So in this I mean that when the child feels that when the love is, maybe they are not alcoholic the parents, or they are not into drugs and everything like that, but they are extremely ego driven. So the family is ruled by the Manipur chakra, so everything is about the image that the family projects to the world. So in that case it could be like the child is given love only when they fulfill certain criteria, like they are a good girl or a good boy, or when they earn particular grades, when they behave in a particular way, when they are extremely respectful, where they do not speak their mind. They always have to say yes to everything that the family is saying, always have to agree with everyone, etc. Like whatever. Or for a girl, it could be you look a certain way, you have to be a certain weight, you have to be a certain figure. For the boy, it could be you have to be extremely masculine, you cannot cry, you cannot express emotions, etc. So, whatever these criteria are, it makes the child feel, and as a child, the child feels this, the child feels that I am not lovable the way I am. So, I am going to change myself to be the way my parents need me to be. And when I am that way, my parents love me. So basically, the parents are creating this circuit in the child's brain which tells the child that you are lovable only if dash dash dash, whatever is the criteria. So this again shows the child that it makes the child believe that I am unlovable the way I am, and something is wrong in me. And the more conditional the parents are, the more this feeling grows in that small child who feels I am unlovable the way I am. And maybe sometimes the child expresses a talent that they have, and the family completely shuts it down. And maybe the child feels really extremely passionate about this talent or whatever, something that is close to them that they have, and the family has an extreme reaction to it. That increases the wound even more, so that makes the child feel even more unlovable you know so this unlovable wound is a wound that the narcissistic person carries inside of them, especially the narcissistic person who is showing up because of a bad childhood. Okay, and the entitled childhood is also abusive in a way, because in the entitled childhood, when the child does something bad, the parents don't stop it because they themselves are so narcissistic that they believe they can do no wrong. So in the long run, it is abusive for the childhood even when the parents are extremely loving all the time, or they are not, I won't say punishing, but they are not showing the child a balanced view of the world. When they show the child that anything you do is okay, that also is abusive for the child because the child is growing up with a twisted perception of the world. And yeah, so that is also not good. And basically, as a child, what unconditional love means is that the parent has to stop the child when they say cruel behaviors, or um, maybe not stop the child but explain to the child that this cruel behavior that you're doing is not going to do you any good, and it's not bad that you have this cruel behavior. So you don't shame the child for having a cruel behavior, because cruelty is part of all human beings. We are an energy in us is extremely cruel, extremely like survival based, where we can actually kill someone to survive ourselves, and that is a part of all of us. We just have to accept that part and hope we never have to use that part in our life, because that is the part that won us wars or keeps us safe, and that's what has brought civilization to this point. So it's an extremely important energy as well, but hope we don't have to use it. So that would be like a balanced parenting, where the parent explains everything to the child and also makes the child understand that you are lovable the way you are, but sometimes I will have to like maybe scold you or stop you from doing certain things, because that is my duty as a parent, to stop you from maybe ruining your own life or creating a circuit in your brain where you feel that cruelty is okay. It's not okay. In certain circumstances it is okay. So so that is a balanced parenting. But unfortunately, people who have NPD in life later on have not had a balanced parenting, and even many people who are not NPD have not had a completely balanced parenting, but maybe better than people who have NPD. So, yeah, so that is the reason why a lot of NPD people, when they grew up, they had this extreme way of how love was expressed to them. So, in one case, they are loved all the time, no matter what they do. Okay, so that is why you see a lot of narcissistic people who are extremely entitled and who believe that they have to be loved no matter what happens. Okay, and then there is another category of narcissistic people who uh, who who kind of express their love in a very distorted way. So when they love you, you will feel used, or you will feel judged, or you will feel um, controlled or dominated, or you will feel like this person is using me or abusing me, or extremely fear based, where they are trying to always make all the decisions for you, and they are trying to keep you in line, in their box of comfort. So these sort of people who exhibit NPD qualities, they have had the other sort of childhood where it was either neglectful, abusive, full of addictions for the parents, or traumatic. So, what these people do is they have a self fulfilling prophecy of being unlovable, and they often attract partners who are empaths. And they attract such partners because empaths have a quality where they give the other person a lot of chances to redeem themselves. And in that, they actually are demonstrating unconditional love for the other person, because the other person is not treating them well, but they keep giving these chances of, improve yourself, improve yourself, improve yourself. And probably the narcissistic person fails at a lot of these chances. And then what happens is every time they fail, they go into this cycle of shame or regret, again of hoovering, trying to get this empath back into their life, because they actually feel a lack of that love again. And what they have to understand by this is that they are actually doing like a self fulfilling prophecy where they believe they are unlovable. So every time the empath leaves, or the empath gives them the cold shoulder or silent treatment or grey rock, they again start feeling that I'm unlovable. No one loves me. I deserve to be treated this way, and they go into this self sabotage cycle because they have a traumatic bond with their parent figure, who was supposed to teach them how to love in this reality. And that has been done in a very twisted way. So they keep having this twisted experience of love over and over and over again. And the empaths who get involved with these narcissists, they try to give them chances after chances, and ultimately, either they leave them or they stay with them. And so some of the narcissistic people, they never get the point. But the point is they need to understand that they are lovable the way they are even though they are showing horrible behaviors in this world. They are showing extreme, like, use, abuse, and all these behaviors. What we have to understand is that these behaviors are coming to them from their parents, and probably to their parents from their parents. And every generation is trying to improve on the quality of love that they are trying to provide to their child, but it might not be good enough. And then there are other people who are providing their children with a higher level of love, maybe like a little bit of unconditional love, or I don't know, maybe a little bit better quality of love, or it flows through the heart chakra and the throat chakra, and such children might grow up to become empaths maybe. So that is why they can demonstrate a little bit more of unconditional love and more expressive love, where they can actually feel it in their heart. They worry about the narcissistic person, they care about the narcissistic person, they actually want to see the narcissistic person improve in life or get out of this self sabotage cycle. They might also express, so for parents who never express love to their child, who never say I love you, I'm proud of you, you are lovable, you're the best, you're so handsome, you're so beautiful, you're so intelligent, so the child never hears these words of affirmation. And when they don't hear it, they don't feel it. So you have to keep, it's very important to kind of, for the narcissistic person to understand that I am lovable, and not from an egoic sense, from a soul sense, that I don't have to do anything to be lovable, I just am lovable. So if they actually just realize this thing, which is very difficult for them to realize, because for ages they have been telling themselves that I am not lovable, um, it might actually help them. And it's a difficult road to get to that point, because a lot of narcissistic people don't even feel anything is wrong with them, they feel something is wrong with the world. So they actually have to first focus on themselves, and they have to make this decision to kind of improve themselves. And I know I might get a lot of hate for this on this channel, but I do feel people who are narcissistic or NPD can improve, unless they are really on the malignant side, and unless they are really later in their life, like 60 years old or 70 years old. I feel it could still happen, but the chances are very low. But if you are like younger, if you are in your 30s or 40s or 50s, I think it's, or 60s even, I think it's definitely something a narcissistic person can do, if they do realize that this is something that has been going on in my life, this self sabotage, this self hatred that I have towards myself. They can improve, they can actually cure themselves right away, if they feel unconditional love for themselves the way they are, real love, not just egoic love, not just love for the image that they are trying to project, but love for all parts of themselves. Then they can actually improve, and they can actually, yeah, they can actually start loving other people also in a very different way than they were used to. So yeah, so it's not a easy thing to do, but this is what I think is the answer to this question: how narcissists love, and why do they love this way, and can it change? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.